All right, welcome everybody. We appreciate y'all being here. Today we're going to talk about our New Year's Eve tour to Florence, Venice, and Rome. If you all have questions, you can type those into the chat. I have Miss Butler and Miss Campbell kind of standing by to answer those questions. And if they're big questions, then we'll definitely answer those toward the end of this meeting. So super glad to have you all here and hope you're really excited about this tour. This is really the first time that we're going to be engaging any travelers for an experience over the new year. So we're all super excited about this and we hope that y'all are as well. So kind of looking at what our meeting is going to cover and getting us started here, we're going to talk just a little bit about why travel is important, especially right now and with the current climate. We're going to talk about this trip and this itinerary. We're going to talk a little bit about our partner EF. We're going to talk about what's included on the tour because that's definitely a big question that everybody has. What am I getting for my money? And then we're going to talk about how to get enrolled and how to reserve your spot. Just so y'all know a little bit about me. My name, obviously, for those of you that know and those of you that don't know, I guess, not so obvious, is Trevor Edmond. I am a high school English teacher at Ashley Ridge High School out in Summerville, South Carolina. I live in North Charleston, South Carolina. I work with a team of teachers in our English math departments here at the school. And we started this program by taking students overseas every spring and every summer, and we decided to kind of branch out and start doing some adult tours. We have a great time with our students. We always have amazing experiences. We love to see student growth on tour, but we also think it's important to reach out to our community and offer amazing experiences to the entire community and not just our students. So travel is really important to us, right? Travel provides us with an opportunity as adults to really just enjoy our lives. We are living the day in and day out lifestyle of work life and adult life. And this is your opportunity to kind of step away from everything that we do in our day-to-day lives at home, at school, at work, and actually just decompress and enjoy something. This is also our opportunity to enjoy other people, other places, and other cultures, to experience new things. This is about experiencing something above and beyond what is every day. I think we all have these sort of nice and good experiences in our day-to-day lives. We can look forward to things like, friendship gatherings and family gatherings as soon as COVID kind of ends. We can look forward to, rejoining groups like our social groups and our churches, but this takes us sort of beyond the everyday, and providing opportunities like travel abroad is gonna expose you to more than just what we can experience in our everyday lives. Travel also helps us kind of develop a little bit of gratitude for what we have, and definitely helps us to develop a little bit more of an appreciation for some global diversity as the world gets a little bit smaller and smaller every single year. So the big question I think on everybody's mind is, where exactly are we going? Well, we've already kind of talked about that a little bit in the RSVP. We're going to Venice, Florence, and Rome over the new year in 2021 and 2022. So this is a 9-day tour. If you choose to do the extension, and that's really one of those customizable components of this particular tour that we're going to talk about in a little bit. The tour can go up to 11 days. So a short 9-day tour, about just over a week, so you can experience the new year abroad. And if you want to extend that experience a little bit longer, you can certainly do that. And we'll talk about what that extension gets you in just a moment as well. Just some highlights, some places, some iconic things that you're going to see. That top photo, you're going to be able to either sit or stand on some of the bridges in Venice. You might even have the opportunity to hop into a gondola and cruise down the Grand Canal in Venice, Italy. That bottom picture on my left, I'm hoping it's your left as well. That's actually a photo from the bell tower of the Duomo in Florence and the photograph is of the baptistry. It's one of the most beautiful and iconic places in all of Florence. And when you enter into the baptistry, there's these just beautiful mosaic tile ceilings that you can go in, and even if you want to go in and sit and kind of just enjoy the quiet and the solitude in that space, you can do that. If you've got your athletic wear on and you're ready to climb, you can schedule an appointment to climb the bell tower or to climb the dome of the Duomo, to enter into the Duomo even and see that super iconic, beautiful marble church in Florence, Italy. Or in the bottom right-hand corner, you can just kind of sit back and relax and enjoy a cappuccino on the streets of Rome as we kind of round out the tour. So you've got lots of flexibility and lots of opportunities in this tour, and that's one of the things that we're so excited about. Now, behind these tours, I think it's really important for us to talk a little bit about our partner so that you all feel comfortable. COVID-19 has kind of spun the travel world in a direction that, we're not always really super fond of acknowledging right now, especially on my team. Travel is sort of a dirty word right now. It's kind of dangerous to go out and do things. What's nice is that we are really rounding that corner. The most recent studies and the most recent research out, it looks like a vaccine is on the horizon. So by the time we reach, New Year's 2021, 2022, we're about a year from now, and COVID will be a distant memory, and we will be ready to celebrate the new year in a new country. And we're going to do that with EF as our partner. EF GoAhead Tours really have offices across the globe, and you can kind of see that in this map here with all these little red dots. They have over 50 years of experience. They have over 500 schools and offices in 53 countries. So no matter where we go and no matter what we're doing, EF is going to be there to support us. Another question that's commonly asked is, why do we choose group travel, and why are we pitching something like this to a group? Really, one of the primary reasons is because group travel keeps these opportunities affordable. They allow people more opportunity to see the world at an affordable rate, right? The nice thing as well about group travel is that we travel with the ease of a tour director, somebody that's kind of guiding our experience, right? That by combining groups and joining other people, we are able to get the best value, but also make some new friends and meet some new people. We also have some flexibility with our departure dates and how they match up. So we might end up traveling from the 27th to, I think it's like January 3rd or January 4th or something like that, or we might end up moving that up a little bit or later a little bit, just depending on the people in our group and what the consensus and the needs are of everyone in our group. So we have some flexibility, which is really nice. And the other thing that's really important is that we get to talk to and we get to meet people, not just from across the country, but really across the globe. So some of the people that will be traveling with us will be from other parts of the United States. Some of them may even be from other countries. And this is our opportunity to build some friendships and build some lasting relationships with people who also have a love of travel and a desire to try and do cool new things and see cool new places. Right? So what really does set EF apart? What sets GoAhead apart? Really, the amount of experience that they have. This is about offering the best quality service that we can. This is about offering these flexible itineraries with lots of options so that you can customize your experience to be a relaxing experience where you can just kind of sit in cafes and sip your cappuccino and enjoy the sights and the smells and the sounds of cities, or you can go with every single extra activity that you want to do and museum entrance that you could possibly dream of or imagine. So there's tons of flexibility in itineraries. There's this huge legacy of learning behind EF where really Education First EF was designed around students. And what GoAhead has done is taken that sort of educational itinerary and moved it into the adult world. So we still have these great itineraries that are going to teach us and show us a lot of things, but that also offer us as adults a lot of flexibility and opportunity to do new things. We also have some pretty small groups. Our group size is capped at about 28 people. So this is not a gigantic group of adults that is going to be crammed into a bus and, crammed into cafes. This is going to be an intimate group of about 20 to 28 people that really develops these strong bonds and strong friendships as we travel across Europe together, as we travel across Italy together, excuse me. There's also these moments of discovery where you can kind of go out and explore on your own. You have lots of free time, lots of flexibility, and we really do make sure that we work with EF very carefully to handpick everything from hotels to experiences to tour directors and tour guides so that we can make this one of the best experiences that you could possibly have. Another really cool thing and why we choose EF GoAhead as our partner is the EF GoAhead loyalty program, right? For adults, I think one of the big things that we always look at is value, right? And what if we do something once? What if we do something twice? What if we do something 3, 4, 5 times? And our goal with EF GoAhead and BTR International is to develop an adult program as well. We want to take adults abroad at least once a year and to offer some amazing experiences for our groups to really see the world. So right now, you have a new enrollment discount of $50 that will automatically come off your tour when you enroll before December, I think it's December 15th, right? So you're automatically going to get $50 off your tour by enrolling before December 15th. But if you decide to travel with us again next year, you'll get $100 off. And if you decide to travel on 3 tours with us, say 3 or 4 years from now, you'll get $175 off. And that just continues to increase over time up to $200 and then almost $350 to $400 off. And that's including any additional incentives that we're offering. The nice thing too is that for frequent traveler discounts, if you've traveled on an EF tour before, you're already starting with an extra $100 off. So you could end up with up to $150 off by enrolling just in this experience. We really want to repay people with loyalty here by traveling with us, by offering you something that helps you afford travel, that makes travel more affordable, and to help you with some dollars that you can put towards some really cool things. Some of the money that you'll notice on this slide will actually go toward customizable experiences. Some of it will go to the bottom line of your price. And then there's a welcome home tour credit where if you decide that when you get home, you're ready to travel with EF or GoAhead again within 90 days, and we always have another tour coming up, that you can get an extra $100 off just for coming again, just for getting home. And then within 90 days, you want to travel again, you want to go with us, we're going to give you more money off for that too. We want you to have as many experiences as you possibly can. So really what we're doing here with group travel is we're handling all of the dirty details for you, right? We're going to pick the best places to eat. We're going to pick the best tour guides with the best personalities, the most fun, the most knowledgeable for us on tour. We have access to the best guided sightseeing tours ever. Those big long lines that you see whenever you travel, we're always skipping those lines. We're always moving right to the head. It's always us as a group, as BTR International and as GoAhead, that's kind of moving to the front and passing those big, huge lines of people to get into these sites and places. You also have the option to personalize your flight options. So if you're one of those people that, you want to fly economy and you want to fly as cheap as you can, then you can do that and you can book your flights on your own. If you want to just fly economy and you want to book those through us for the sake of ease, then you have the option to do that. If you need to change your airport of departure, then you can do that. If you need to, just not buy your flights through us and use your own airline miles, you can do that too. If you want to upgrade to first class or business class, you can do that as well. So you have complete and total flexibility over what your flights are, how your flights work, and really the key is if you purchase your flights through us, we're going to make sure that you get there on arrival day. But if you're going to purchase your flights or use your own miles on your own, we're going to just make sure that you are there and that you're planning to be there on our arrival day as well. So we may not all arrive together, but we'll all be sitting together for dinner on that day, which is kind of nice. We're also going to make sure that we hand pick out the best hotels that Europe has to offer that are generally pretty centrally located, that are near some kind of transportation or that are close enough to city centers where you can, if you want to have a late night out, that you can do that you can go out, you can sit in a cafe, and you can have the full European experience. And then also we have access to private transportation. So when we are on coaches, when we are traveling from city to city, we're not, crammed in a public bus with a bunch of people, that we're actually in a private motor coach, or in a nice and spacious kind of train car, right? So the big question I think that a lot of people also have is, what is going to be our response to COVID-19, and why is it that we want to choose BTR International? Why is it that we want to choose GoAhead? Well, part of this is about traveling with some confidence. We know that the current travel climate is a bit contentious. We haven't traveled in probably 8 to 9 months. I mean, the last tour I got off of was in March. So the next tour that we're traveling on is in April. So it will be a full year since I have traveled. What's really nice, though, is that we have this peace of mind policy that's built into every EF and every GoAhead tour, right? And it provides us with a great deal of flexibility to make changes if they're necessary, especially in these uncertain times. So in the unlikely event that this COVID-19 pandemic continues into the new year, we have some flexibility in how we move our itinerary, how we change it, how we alter it, what we do with it. We also have access to what's called a global travel protection plan, and this can be purchased by all travelers. This protection plan is really your insurance policy, and we'll kind of go over that on another slide. And we'll go over cost as well on another slide. And then you also have vouchers for EF GoAhead travel and for EF travel. So if something happens, if you're not able to travel with us on this particular experience, we're going to take every dollar that you've paid and put it on a voucher. And you're going to be able to use that voucher with me on any other tour that we take, whether it's a GoAhead tour, whether it's an EF student division tour. You are always welcome to travel with us anywhere that we're going, and welcome on any experience that we're offering. So let's look at starting this adventure, right? What are you really responsible for in terms of what do you need to plan for, right? What are you planning for financially in addition to tour cost, right? One of the things that you're going to be responsible for is really your spending money, right? This is money for tour additional things, something that comes up. Anytime that we are in a city, there are just extra things. For instance, if you go to Paris with me, one of the extra things that shows up a lot of times is like a Seine river cruise, right? Where you can kind of cruise down the river at night and pass Notre Dame, or at least what's left of it, right? That you can kind of see some iconic sights from the river and just kind of enjoy a nice little evening boat ride. Check out the lights from the river on the Eiffel Tower and see the Eiffel Tower sparkle, right? So just some great opportunity there. Now, that's just one of the many extra experiences that can come up on tour. So you want to make sure that you're planning just a little bit of money for those really cool little extra things. The other thing is that you want to plan for some beverages, some snacks, a few dinners, and lunch every day. So most people, if you go on tour and you're pretty frugal, can get by at about $30 a day. But if you're one of those big spenders and you like big sit-down meals, then you might need a little bit more per day. I'm more of a kind of like grab a sandwich and sit and enjoy the sights and smells and sounds of the city. And that usually tends to be pretty cheap, especially when we're in places like Italy. So you've got lots of flexibility there in how much you're spending on a day-to-day basis. Some meals will be included, some meals will not, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. You will need tip money, and tip money ranges from anywhere from $10 to $13 per person per day. And that's really based on the exchange rate as the exchange fluctuates. So I'll be able to give you a more solid number. So you should plan at this point about $100 to $120 or so for tips. And your tips are going to be going to our bus drivers, our tour directors, our local guides. And the reason we tip them is because they work much like the service industry here in America. If you go to a restaurant, they're paid a base wage, which isn't very much, and they make the majority of their money off of the service. So they're going to provide us with excellent service, and we want to make sure that we reward that with a good tip. Right. You're also responsible for any baggage fees that you incur through the airport and any passport or visa fees, obviously, because those are personal, right? You want to make sure you don't need a visa to travel to Italy, which is really nice. You just need your passport. So you want to make sure that you get with the U.S. Postal Service as soon as possible to get enrolled and verified for your passport. Get that ordered. If your passport expires within usually about a month to 3 months after the return home, you'll need to update that passport. Even though your passport is not technically expired, they tend not to like them overseas. So, we're traveling in January of 2021. So if your passport expires anywhere from January of 2022, rather. If your passport expires anywhere from January 2022 to March of 2022, you're going to want to get that renewed. So that way we have no problems at customs and no problems at Border Patrol. This is a slide about trip protection that I was talking about. Your global protection plan is really about protecting your investment in this experience, right? This is going to be one of the most unique experiences that you've ever had, probably, especially being overseas in another country, in another place, especially over New Year's, which is so cool. This is new for us, and we're so excited to share this. So our trip protection, we have a sort of a plus trip protection and a basic trip protection. And this will cover things from like accident to illness on tour, to cancellation due to interruption, baggage delays or anything like that. This will also include like a waiver for another experience, right, within 3 days of really enrolling. So this last point about the waiver is really about you making sure that you invest in this as soon as possible. The cost for this is anywhere from $300 to $400. And really, this is your insurance policy abroad. That's really what you want to think of it as. Some of you have access to insurance policies that will work abroad, and that's okay. You can use your own insurance. This is not just about illness and accident. This is also about protecting your lost bag. This is about making sure that if you're on tour and your bag doesn't show up, that you're going to be able to get some things and not have to pay a ton of money out of pocket. That this is going to help you in the event that, the unlikely event, knock on wood, that, you fall ill right before travel and the doctor says you're not going to be able to travel with us. This is going to cover that interruption, that cancellation for you. So this is a good investment. It's something that I recommend of everybody, but it's certainly not required. So what you're getting with us and what you're getting on tour, right? This is kind of the big deal. Well, with the basic program, without the extension, you're going to get 7 nights in those handpicked hotels that are near your city centers. These hotels are generally very European and kind of cush. They're not what we would consider here like the best of the best, right? This is not your Europe in general, especially Italy, is not known for, your Holiday Inn kind of style, right? That really new, really clean, really fancy, super ultra blasting Acon, although it'll be kind of cool when we're traveling, right? But they will be nice and they'll be very comfortable and they'll be near those city centers. So these hotels are some really iconic places, some famous places that have existed for a really long time and have a great reputation for service and have a great reputation for hospitality, which is really nice. Every morning, you're going to have access to breakfast in our hotel. And those breakfasts are very European in style. So things like pastries and breads and cheeses and meats and cereals. And it's really more than enough for you to get your day started. Lots of access to coffee, cappuccino, anything like that you might want. Okay. This tour also comes with 3 dinners, and all of those dinners will come with a beer or a wine selection for you. So you'll have access to a few really great dinners that are a part of the group, and access to some local tastes and alcohol as well. This will also include a New Year celebratory dinner with a champagne toast. So you're really getting 4 dinners. and 4 selections of beer, wine, alcohol. But that one is really important, being that New Year's dinner with our champagne toast at midnight. This tour also includes a couple of sightseeing tours. There are 3 sightseeing tours that take us through each city that we are going to go to, some of them walking, some of them on the bus. This also includes our tour guide, our bilingual tour guide, and our local guides. This also includes our access to private motor coaches. This includes our sightseeing licensed guides. This includes a few entrances to select locations. This includes the completely immersive itinerary in these places. This includes your welcome and your farewell dinner. And this also includes your 24-hour emergency line, right? So you're getting a lot for your money here. Now, the pricing is super affordable, and we want to make sure that it is that way, right? So right now, your base price for this particular tour, for what we've talked about just now, is only $2,319, right? And then you're paying a monthly draft, and that's about $193 a month. You can enroll right now for as little as $99. So just to secure and reserve your spot on tour, that's going to cost $99. If you want an automatic payment plan, you do have to pay just a little bit more for that. The auto draft is generally the way to go. You can do it monthly, you can do it bi-weekly, and you can do it weekly. So whatever works best for you and for your budget, EF is willing to break this down and make those payments as affordable as possible. You want to make sure that you're enrolling to reserve your spot as soon as possible, but the enrollment deadline is going to be on December 31st. I say that you should enroll as soon as possible because we actually have 28 spaces on tour. 2 of them are already enrolled and people are already getting signed up. So you want to make sure that you enroll as soon as possible. That $99 deposit is going to lock in your spot with that auto pay. So you want to make sure that you do that as soon as possible. The other thing I'm really excited to share with y'all is that we want to make sure that we're protecting your money and that we're protecting your investment. So you really have risk-free booking through December 31st and peace of mind until March 1st. So what that means is that as long as you're enrolled before December 31st, if you decide for any reason that you can't do this opportunity with us, as long as you cancel before March 1st of 2021, so that's really 3 months from now, right? January, February, March, right? You are secure in getting all of your funds paid back, right? And that's huge. That is a huge incentive. There is no company in the market that's offering that. So if you enroll today, if you reserve your spot for $99 and then 3 months from now decide that you just can't swing it or something is not possible and we talk and we can't work it out, then you're actually not going to be really out anything. So that is absolutely huge, and I'm so excited to be able to offer that to y'all. We also have flexible and free rebooking options. So if you still want to travel with me, but you decide that you just can't travel on New Year's, well, guess what? In April of next year, we're traveling to Greece and Italy, and you can travel to Greece and Italy with us. In the summer next year, we're traveling to Australia, New Zealand, and Hawaii. So if spring doesn't work and you need to travel in the summer, you can travel in the summer with us. The following year, we're going to be traveling to England, Ireland, Scotland, and France. We're going to be traveling to Iceland. We're going to be traveling to Spain and England and France. We're going to be traveling to Belize. So we have tours planned all the way through 2024, and we want to make sure that you are able to rebook on another experience with us for free. And we also have multiple adult options that will come up every year as well, just like this one. So one of the cool things about this as well is that when we travel with EF, we're making sure that safety is a #1 priority. Everything from extra sanitization of buses and hotel rooms to making sure that tours are socially distanced appropriately, especially if COVID is still affecting us, that our groups are small and comfortable, and that everybody's safe and everybody's secure. So if COVID is still impacting us, we have a number of policies in place to still make sure that this experience is going to be the best. Your options for payment are pretty diverse. You can pay everything up front, you can enroll in that automatic payment plan, or you can choose a manual payment plan. The only thing to really remember is that with the automatic payment plan, your final payment will be due 1 month before we depart. And with the manual payment plan, if you're drafting checks or like 3 or 4 payments throughout the year, that's your final payment will be due about 70 days before departure. So about 2 to 2.5 months around there, okay? So right now we have about 26 spots available on this particular tour. You want to make sure that you are enrolling as soon as possible. I'm going to have somebody from my team post the enrollment link in the meeting chat for everybody, so that way you have access to it. You have this slide here. The enrollment window is going to close on the 15th with an extended deadline from the 15th to the 31st, although that $50 enrollment discount may not be good after the 15th. So you want to make sure that you're getting signed up as soon as possible. You can always call as well and enroll over the phone, and just make sure that when you enroll over the phone that you're providing our group reference number, because you're getting a group rate to travel with us. Okay. If you have any questions, we're going to stick around for a minute to answer those in the chat. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing y'all on tour. Please feel free to reach out via email if anything comes up. If there is any questions that you have or anything that we haven't answered, we want to make sure that you feel confident in choosing us as, you know, your go-to travel partner. We want to make sure that you have the best, most amazing experience possible. And we look forward to traveling with you over New Year's in 2021 and 2022. Thank you all and have a great night. And just real quick, to give everybody an idea of how to go ahead and enroll, you can actually go to grouptoursite.com/Trevor Edmond. You can also click the link that was provided in the chat. And when you click that link that's provided in the chat, it's going to pull up this page right here. And this is going to be the page where you're going to be able to customize your experience however you choose to. So you'll be able to see the tour and the dates here. You'll be able to select what your departing airport is. You'll also be able to say that I would like to book my flights on my own so that you don't have to pay for flights. You're going to be able to decide how many people you're going to be booking for. Are you booking for yourself? Are you booking for you and a spouse, or you and a friend, or you and a few friends? So you're going to select the number of people that you're choosing. If you select one, you will automatically have to select for a private room. That doesn't mean that you'll be charged $400 for this. What it means is that once I'm able to assign you a roommate, somebody that is enrolling separately from you that you are excited to room with, maybe a friend who's enrolling for themselves, really whatever that circumstance may be, this $400 will be credited back to you. So you click that, you will decide if you want to choose the extension, and the extension is to the Sorrento region of Italy, just south of Rome. And that extension will be from January 4th to January 6th. If we don't want to select those, or if you choose not to select those, then you just leave that blank. And then you go down and you get to look at all of the excursions that are available for you to customize that experience. So if you decide that you want to take a gondola ride, or maybe you and your spouse want to do a gondola ride for 2, or you and a good friend want to do just a private gondola ride for 2 rather than a group of 4 or 6. If you want to see some medieval sites and try some beautiful flavors in Tuscany, this is sort of a food wine experience, and there's a little bit of an icon next to all of these where you can read a little bit more. If you want to visit St. Paul's Basilica and see the catacombs, you can do that. And if you want to actually enter into the Vatican and see the Sistine Chapel, you can do that. What's really nice is that all of these experiences, you can see the time frames here for each of them. These experiences are situated over your free time. So this is your opportunity to either say, I'd like to see the Vatican, or you know what, I think I'd rather just wander about the city and enjoy the sights and sit in a cafe and have a cup of coffee. So this is, again, your chance to really choose the richness of your tour and to choose what exactly you are going to do and where you're going to go. And you'll notice that everything gets tallied and totaled down here so that you can see. Now you can see that my grand total here is about $27.19. Remember, I didn't include my flights, and I did have to pay the $400 for the private room. Remember though that this $400 gets credited back to you when we assign a roommate. Now, if we go up and you decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and book for myself and my spouse, then you'll see the options here. If you and your spouse want 2 separate rooms, although I don't know that you would do that with your spouse, you'd probably just do 1 double. Right, this is a double bed. That's pretty standard in Italy. And then you go through and you select all the same options, right? You go into your excursions and you decide, you know, which excursions you want to choose, right? You look at some of these things here and decide what you want to choose. And you'll notice that the amount ultimately will be updated, you know, if I'm selecting the correct things and so on and so forth. So you have a lot of flexibility in how you change or add or alter your itinerary. If you choose to book your flights with us, you can certainly do that. You could book your flights, say you're going to be traveling to see family in early December. Maybe you're going to go see, I don't know, some relatives up in Michigan, for instance. You could say, well, you know, we're going to be in Detroit for Christmas, so we need to search Detroit, right? Oh, so here it is. There's Detroit, and that is going to be our departure airport. And you can go down to the bottom and see your flights have been added. Generally, your flights are pretty competitive with this, but obviously if you're using airline miles or you're wanting to use a budget airline, or if you're wanting to fly like first class and have that really great flight experience, then you're going to want to customize your own flight options. And I'll work with you through that. You just let me know, send me an email, and we'll make sure that your flights are scheduled at the appropriate time. So that way you're getting to Venice when you should be, and that way you're not missing out on any of our experience. Again, we'll be here for just a short minute. You can scroll through our page, you can check out our itinerary, you can get your space reserved, and make sure you're spending that $99 to get that spot reserved as soon as possible, so that way you can hang on to that spot. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to type those into the chat or send us an email. Thank you all so much for attending. We really appreciate you being here. Have a great night. It was great to have you all here, and we're so excited for you all to travel with us.